Alright, what about sunfish?
I don't know, they're kind of bright.
In other news, and we're off! Alright, so as you guys know, 100% we have to collect all of the item upgrades. We have to collect the tunic upgrade. We have to collect 20 seashells in order to get a level 2 sword. We collect all the heart pieces, all the photos, and of course we have to get all the instruments, head up to the egg, and go kick some nightmare butt. So now we see our guys leaving the house. They're going to go down to the beach and get the sword. It's going to be nice. So we can't do anything with the sword. Without the sword, my bad.
I mean, you can do some things, but you can't finish the game without it at the very least.
No, you can't. The only thing you could do is go down to the beach and get the sword. You can't even get rupees. You can't steal from the shop. Do nothing. Both our guys going for the damage boost.
They like to live dangerously. What can we say?
I don't know. I get damage, not damage boost, whenever I run.
Well, it looks like Pikapals didn't get it, but thankfully this particular trick saves less than a second, like way less than a second, so it's not the biggest. Yeah. And now comes the fun part. The sword has some fun properties, as does the shield. Since the game lets you pick up rupees with your sword and shield, if you happen to line it up so that the rupee lands on Link and the shield at the same time, you pick it up twice. So they're going to be trying to do some rupee dupes here, because they need 10 rupees.
The drops aren't really working out for them.
No.
You got Sagaz with 6, Pikapals with 5. Pikapals actually failed the dupe on the one of the first, and Pikapals takes a... Oh my god, Sagaz, why?
Ooh! He gets that rupee luck. Mowing the lawn is very lucrative.
Jesus. And now we see Sagaz running in here to get the shop as Pikapals gets his seashell and continues his farm. We're stealing that shovel, because paying 200 rupees for a shovel is outrageous. Actually, what's the rupee to dollar conversion rate right now?
It's let me check my imaginary calculator here. It says, why are you asking this question?
Because rupee is an actual currency?
It is, but this is not the same as a real rupee. It's like Canadian dollar versus US dollars, except that they're both real.
Hey, Canadian dollars are real. I exploit that. I mean, what? I didn't say
That's what I literally
anything.
just... So anyways, hey, do you like UFO catchers? Because if so, they're about to go play the trendy game. This is why we needed those 10 rupees. And it's also why you saw them use the save and quit on those bombs, because if you use the save and quit menu there, you get the bombs, but you don't actually have to pay for them. So, you're basically getting 2 10 rupee things for, well, just 10 rupees.
One.
Yeah. In this case, they're getting the powder, because it's much faster to get at the trendy game than it is to just do the whole thing with the mushroom. That takes forever. And
oh, Sagaz stabbed the dog. How could he?
You know, I don't know if that's a dog, because obviously the dog is this thing right here on this post.
No, that's a chain chomp, not a dog.
That's a dog. What are you talking about? It's called Bow Wow and everything.
You're saying things. It's a chain chomp. Chain chomps don't have tails.
I'm just shaking my head right now. I'm just shaking my head.
I don't know what else we're saying. We're saying Sagaz shake his head as he has to go sip through this owl's text. Didn't even try the bomb trigger, it looks like.
Well, that one's one folks generally don't usually go for, just because bomb count's a little bit tight for the first couple of dungeons, and well, that's not the important one to get.
Man, he's carrying his sword charge the entire way through the forest.
He's just playing it safe, you know, be prepared.
And he gets the bomb trigger first try. Of course, if you're here watching this, you've heard this spiel a dozen times, we'll say it again. Bomb triggers basically do magical things with bombs if you set bombs 2 frames apart from each other. Not 2 frames. It's like 1 frame and then the other frame, I think.
So it's within 3 or 4 frames. It's pretty tight, but it's not like it's not unfairly tight. But that allows us to do all sorts of fun things, because the game doesn't quite know what to do with itself, and it causes, in many cases, either random item pickups, it causes events to trigger. It's just a laughing good time all the way around, which is why we're going to be using it a lot.
But for now, we're not going to be saying any of that, because we're in Dungeon 1. Going to go get the best item in the game, bar none.
But along the way, they're going to be making a pit stop here to grab a secret seashell, because I don't know if we mentioned it, but part of the 100% category includes getting the level 2 sword. When the level 2 sword requires 20 secret seashells, Even though there are 26 in the game, we only need 20, so we've obviously carefully routed out the most quick to pick up seashells. That includes this one in Dungeon 1.
Yeah. Now going over here, you can only hit these spinies when they're upside down, so you have to use the shield to flip them over. It's one of the few times where we actually really need the shield.
Yeah, well, the shield isn't useful too often, but when it is, very few things will do its job for it.
Oh yeah. So now we're going to do a little bit of a bonk over here. Get the feather. Best item.
It's extremely useful.
Pikapals getting a nice clean spin slash on those spinies.
And it's not just useful because it lets you move around kind of wacky, but it's useful because we combine it with the wall clips. You may have been seeing them push into the corners. That lets them clip a couple of pixels into the wall, and here in dungeons and caves and in a couple of overworld spots, you clip into a wall, jump into it, then kind of attack while jumping away. Well, you do a super jump. The game says, yeah, you're probably one floor up, and lets you jump as if you were high up, which lets you go over obstacles. And it's extremely useful for going over blocks and key blocks and all sorts of things.
Yeah, and we must also take care to point out that despite the fact that we are clipping into a wall, it's not actually out of bounds. Because our rule set for out of bounds is like, what, 2-3 pixels into the wall and you're fine? Any more than that, then you're out of bounds? Because you can't normally walk on that tile?
Yes, indeed. And otherwise, it's also more than one tile away from the tile you would normally be able to stand on.
And while we were discussing that, Moldorm's dead.
Yeah, the hardest boss in the game, and that's not actually... We're not being ironic. Moldorm is legitimately one of the most difficult bosses in this game. He comes right at the beginning, and moves around kind of randomly, quickly, and can knock you into the pit, even with your best efforts. And looks like Pikapals is making short work, and it's a really good placement, too. It's going to drop that heart container right near the door.
Really wish I could get stuff like that.
Nah, we're not so lucky.
No. So here we go, we're going to hear the owl blabber on a little bit longer. And now we're going to be heading up to the swamp to go start our second dungeon, but first we get a little bit of a gathering trip to go through.
Yep, a little bit of housekeeping. Because one of the other things you have to do for 100% is get the 12 photos. One of the things that was added in DX over the original is the photo studio with the complete with photographer mouse, and there are 12 photos that you get by doing certain activities in certain locations at certain times. It's actually, in some cases, very specific. And we have to make sure to get all 12 of them. And you gotta be careful, because there are some of them that can be permanently missed. And if you miss one, well, that's it. Your run is over.
But before we go talk to that photographer mouse, who's soon to be dead, we're gonna grab some rupees in this log cave, and we're gonna go over here and we're gonna get this heart piece by doing a super jump.
Yeah. We weren't joking. Tricks like super jumps and bomb triggers are incredibly useful throughout this run. And super jumps in particular are also one of the tricks that showcase why we play on 1.0. Because you're both playing on Japanese 1.0 now. Japanese just makes the text faster, but 1.0 is needed for a variety of tricks, including super jumps. Because they've been patched out in later versions, so this is definitely the speediest choice for version.
Alright, so here we have the camera shop. We're gonna go talk to this mouse. And now he can give us two pictures. He can either take a picture friendly words? I can't English. Or he could beat us up and shove us into the corner, which we saw probably when Spicefather did it the other day, on Thursday, I think.
So basically, it's Schrodinger's photo mouse. Either it's a nerd mouse or a jock mouse, depending on how you behave.
No, it's an alpha mouse.
Now, but first, it's time to rescue our best friend and dog, Bow Wow, because the Moblins have kidnapped him. What fiends!
I thought you were gonna say Rooster.
Nah.
Rooster comes back from the dead for you, man. He is the best friend.
Well, I mean, does he play the game casually, but we're not going to do that, as folks will see later. But Bow Wow is actually, honestly, one of the most powerful beings in the Zelda universe, because, let's be honest, you have beings that can, you know, bring you back from the dead, you have beings that can control the winds, and then you have Bow Wow, who can eat cutscenes. Eat cutscenes. Unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing that in this category, but still, he's going to help us get into Dungeon 2.
Alright, right there you saw a flock clip. Basically, we use the text box to push up against the rock and just slide on through.
Yep.
Now the only time... No, go ahead. I'm losing my train of thought.
Okay. I was saying that text boxes do funny things in this game. Whenever one pops up, Link can move a couple of pixels, and that's actually how we did the early sort at the beginning, and that's also how flock clips work. So you'll find that text boxes, be they save and quit menus, be they just dialogue, be they whatever, we'll take advantage of them to do all sorts of things.
Alright, both of our guys getting him to D2 really quick. Sagaz has equipped his Feather and Bone. He's not going to change this for a while because he's got a couple of things he wants to do with it.
Yeah,
namely,
go ahead.
The bow in this game, really powerful. Like, absurdly powerful. Hey look, there's a Hinox. Bye, Nox.
Yeah. The bow is the game. The reason it's 980 rupees is because the game expects you to get it late in the game because it's exceedingly powerful. So getting it early game lets us do things like what you saw with the mini boss in Dungeon 1, and you saw with Hinox here, just tears through mini bosses and bosses.
So Sagaz using the bow to knock those ghosts out of the room. Once the ghosts are off the screen, then they're technically dead.
Yeah, as far as the game is concerned, absolutely.
Now for the worst room in the game.
Oh, I don't know. Bingo Room might give it a run for its money, but this is definitely a bad room. Oh.
So Saga's going for the quick kill on the pot. On the pot? Paul's voice. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, speed gaming. What are you doing, man?
Try to get sassy.
Let's show and spear what with the lip.
Yeah, D2 is one of the first times where movement starts getting really interesting. And it goes by really quickly once you get good. And both of these runners are very good. So now it's time for the boss, which is one of my favorite bosses, just because it's actually a long boss with like 2 phases when you do it casually. But because of wall clipping, we can get through the first phase throwing the pot into the wall instead of throwing it against the wall 3 times. The second phase just kind of doesn't really happen. So keep your eyes peeled here.
I debate that both phases still happen. He said that he's out of the bottle and he's in the bottle.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen in the sense that he doesn't get to actually do anything in phase 2 aside from just kind of die. So he's gonna put a bomb there, and take advantage of the bow and arrow's other cool ability, which is combining them with bombs lets you do bomb arrows, which have 2 cool things about them. You can blow up things far away, but most importantly, it lets you detonate bombs immediately instead of having to wait for the fuse. So I'm going to totally take advantage of that right here to quick kill that genie.
Otherwise, you have to go through a very painful fight where he teleports all over and tries to rush at you, and he does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Alright,
so setting up. Yeah,
and he gets it. Now Sagaz is running over here to the east, so that way he can get a warp point over by the waterfalls. Which, it's the most convenient time for us to do it right now, as opposed to coming back here once we get the angler key. And then he'll save and quit back and to go do some more cleanup, including getting the heart piece of shame.
Although this is the one time where it's not shameful. It's also interesting to note that even though this is a really massive detour, the fact of the matter is, it still saves time over running up here later. But that said, it is such a massive detour that it doesn't save that much time, but it's a time save, so we do it.
Oh yeah. Alright, so now we're gonna go make our first of 3 trips to the Mad Batter. This guy from Link to the Past is located in 3 different locations in Poland Island. And he'll upgrade one of your 3 item capacities, either your powder, your bombs, or your bow. We really don't want to upgrade our powder until last, because powder is virtually useless. So right now we want bombs and bow, and because we're running low on bombs, we get bombs first.
Yeah. Bombs are useful throughout, and we're going to be using a lot of them non-stop. So we definitely want that bomb upgrade first. Now that said, if you accidentally get a different one, you can still kind of make do, but it's going to be rough. But the arrow one later is the one you definitely do not want to miss. Thankfully they got some time. Alright, and I also was curious about this. Looks like Sagaz is obviously doing the most recent route. I'm not sure what route Pikapals uses, so Depending on where you see him go after the Mad Batter Cave, we'll have a pretty good feel if he's using the same route or a different one.
I'm going to point out the irony of saying that Sagaz uses the newest route.
I mean, he just kind of makes it up as he goes, which often becomes the newest route, so...
He makes the route, come on, man.
Well, then by proxy, it's obviously the newest route.
Alright, so it looks like they're both doing the same route.
Okay. So that's conveniently going to make it easier for us to figure out who's ahead. And something else you may be noticing, actually, is that you see that a lot of times they use items that you might not expect for dealing with things, and that's because in this game you only have 2 buttons. So anytime you want to change your things, like use the sword and feather, or just change them out, you have to go into that menu. And over the course of this run, you're going to go into the menu a lot of times, dozens of times. So minimizing the number of times you do that and just kind of trying to combine trips and activities is a huge part of saving time in this run. It will save you minutes over the course of this run.
Alright, so here we have on Sagaz's screen our first missable picture. If you casually decide to walk into Candlelit Castle and open up the front, then you're plumb out of luck. You've just missed this wonderful scene.
Yeah, that's Richard. We don't care about him either, so you don't have to.
Oh, we'll see him again, though.
Yeah, well, that's only because of the routing change where you get the other seashell. Speaking of seashells, this is the other thing that changed. At the Seashell Mansion, 20 gets you the sword, but 5 and 10 get you bonus seashells. You used to only come here for 1, but now we come back here for both, so this is the first of 3 times. Ooh, skipping the text box as well.
Fancy.
And now I have to do a very important trick called Villa Skip.
So the way pits work in this game is if you posit the frame that you actually fall into the pit, it thinks you're on solid ground, so you could just walk down. And if there's an object beneath you and you get placed onto a screen, then it just pushes you down until you reach a tile where you can actually stand. Thus, Villa Skip. Skipping the entirety of Candlelit Castle.
Not having to help Richard deal with his labor problems.
No, but we are going to steal the stuff that's in this basement, though.
Well, I mean, he has a castle. He can afford it. It's fine.
He doesn't have a castle anymore because we didn't help him.
That sounds like his problem.
Personal problem.
Yeah.
Let him be with his frogs.
Yeah.
He seems happy.
The fun tricks don't end here, though, because we're about to see them take advantage of something called a Jesus jump. If you jump on water and pause buffer until you see the splash, you can jump on the surface of the water. And if you do that on a screen transition, you can actually transition even without the flippers. And we're going to see Sagaz do it here. And then with the use of a save and quit, you can still manage to jump out. Just like that.
Bam.
Let's just get the seashell without having to come back after Dungeon 4. And just like that, we have the slime key, which we got totally through the legitimate developer-intended means, and we made it to Dungeon 3, again, with the totally developer-intended means.
I'm going to point out, we did get it intentionally where it was supposed to be. It's just a feather that we stuck in a wall. And particularly in the back of a wall. Because keyholes work well in this game.
Yeah, wall clipping does odd things to this game, and we wall clip a lot.
Alright, so Sagaz is killing a ton of enemies here in D3. That's because we're going for a drop called the Piece of Power, which it increases your attack, it increases your movement speed, and it gives you knockback whenever you hit an enemy. And it drops once. You kill 30 enemies without saving and quitting. And that increases depending on how many hearts you have. And there we go. And it's going to help him out doing this next trick, which is called Dong Skip.
And there he goes. Gets it. No problem.
So basically the way that works in there is you super jump from that corner, you hit the Dodongo that comes down, and it knocks you over the rocks and into the next part, skipping the need for you to have to go around and get all the keys.
Yeah, Dungeon 3 is called the Key Cavern, but due to a combination of super jumps and shenanigans, we skip almost the entirety of Dungeon 3. It's pretty spectacular.
You only need 2 keys.
Yep. And there are a couple conveniently along the way, so we just grab those. And Piece of Power's usefulness does not stop there, because we're also going to see them both take full advantage of it on the boss, Slime Eye. who is usually not really that difficult of a boss, but with Piece of Power, especially with the second phase, once you split it in half, becomes a 2-hit scenario instead of a 4-hit scenario, which you'll see them kill it right next to the door very quickly.
If everything goes smoothly.
Yeah.
Things have been known to get out of hand with this boss.
Oh, undoubtedly. Here we see Sagaz splitting it up, and setting up to just have it drop on the sword just like that.
Very clean kill. Meanwhile, Pikapals over there getting his piece of power. Now he's going to go for his dong skips. Makes the first one. Nice and quick, as you will.
Well, I was a little bit worried there, because he was pretty close to that Guardian Acorn.
Nah, he's fine. He knows what he's doing. He's a professional.
Yeah. Well, no one ever plans to pick up a Guardian Acorn, because once you pick that up, you can't get the Piece of Power.
Hey, excuse me. I plan to get it all the time. I need to not die, okay?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't... Well, I mean, the obvious solution is obvious, then. Just get the blue tunic.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that, Mr. Dark Souls. Yeah,
I can't believe you'd bring that up. Topical knowledge that no one in the chat gets. How dare you?
Alright, so earlier Sagaz bombed a wall open over here, and now we're going to run in here, go get what's in here now that we have the boots in order to destroy these little obstacles. You might think we're going for that chest, but no. In fact, there's a bombable wall here.
Yes, a very obvious, easy to find bombable wall that you could totally find without the Prima guide.
Yes, and in there is a totally obvious neon sign lit piece of heart.
Now it's time for... we actually didn't mention this one either, but save and quit menu, we don't just use it for saving and quitting. It's useful for... You may have seen them open it before chests and also before dialogue. The save and quit menu skips things. In this case, it skips that entire sequence where Terran gets chased by bees. And don't get me wrong, I love that sequence because Terran deserves it, but still, it's faster just to skip it, and that's why save and quit menu is wonderful.
Yeah, because of that, he'll go without revenge for what he does in a little bit. Because the bees are preemptive revenge.
Yes. He knows what he did.
Sagaz making his second trip to go get his second free seashell.
And just like that, you get 11 seashells. Seashells come pretty quickly in the early game.
Oh, yeah. And there he goes. Pikapals, of course, having finished D3, is on his way now to go get that hidden piece of heart.
It's actually a pretty fun time to start talking a little bit about the trading sequence, or rather the fact that we don't really do it.
What's a trading sequence? All I know is we, like, stick some bombs in a wall.
Yeah, so, if you play this game casually, you might remember you have to... That Yoshi doll we didn't get in the trendy game has this really long sequence that ends in a magnifying glass. Well, it turns out, since the game intends you to do Candlelit Castle, which we didn't do, it figures if you beat D3, you obviously are going to have the stick that you got from that Candlelit Castle thing. So when we talk to Terran, the game assumes you have the stick. So let's just skip all the way.
Should also point out, a stick. Just lying on the ground that a monkey gave us. A nothing special stick. That if this were real life, we could just pick up a stick and give it to Terran. But no, we need to actually do something to get a stick.
I mean, it's a very nice stick.
These are the healthiest trees that I have ever seen if they are not having one dead branch.
I mean, we see them close up later in a picture, and they do look pretty branchless. But that's actually convenient, though, that we get the honeycomb, because it turns out that the next thing we have to do to advance the plot is go get Marin at the beach. But Marin doesn't actually appear at the beach until we talk to that bear and give him the honeycomb in exchange for the pineapple. So, conveniently enough, we re-enter the trade sequence right when we need to, and that's pretty nice.
And, of course, we're going to get the best item in the entire game, the ocarina, with its pop-up-able menu once you get songs that ruin your menu routing. And
it's an ocarina? I thought it was a sweet potato.
No, it's sweet potato ocarina, man. Come on. That's a musical instrument.
Sweet potato.
Alright, don't you do this to me. You should have eaten lunch before you started running.
I did, and I wasn't thinking.
And now you know what? Here, you can go ahead and watch Sagaz catch this fish.
Oh, wait, my stomach is growling.
You chose this life.
This life chose me.
No, you could have eaten. You had a choice.
and I chose to play Jackbox instead. What was I thinking?
You were a damn fool, and now we will pick up this heart piece, which is our 4th heart piece, completing our extra piece of heart, and we skip over the entire thing where the game tells us, oh, hey, look, you got 4 pieces of heart. You get a free heart container. But technically it's not free because you did a lot of work for that, but we skip it because we just talked to the fisherman. Now here we get another photo.
Unfortunately, we say goodbye to our doggo friend, but we get a photo to commemorate it.
Oh, yes.
And thankfully, this also means that we're nearing the end of our pre-date checklist here.
Alright, here we go, another photo, and then we're going to head down to the beach.
We gotta creep on the old man. We gotta go knock a seashell out of a tree because that's where you know seashells go.
Hey, we're not creeping on the old man. We're getting revenge because he's creeping on us.
He sits in his house all day. He's scared of the outside world.
How does he know what we're doing at all times then?
He probably is in cahoots with the photography mouse.
But the photography mouse isn't watching us all the time.
But how is it always there when we do something cool?
Hold on, wait. What if the photography mouse is there all the time? He's just off screen. That means he's in on it too.
Mm-hmm.
My god, this goes deeper than I ever thought.
Speaking of going deeper, it's time to go say hello to Marin. Let's see if Sagaz has any of the quality pre-Marin memes. No, he just goes up and talks to her.
Nope, he doesn't have any need for that.
Speaking of memes, so,
how about that dinner that Link's not taking Marin out to? I mean, he could be taking her out for pasta. Could be like a nice vodka sauce with some penne, a little bit of chicken on the side. Be very, very nice. What do you think, Crunchy? Wouldn't you like to talk about pasta and other foods instead of talking about certain other things?
No. I actually had spaghetti last night, so I'm actually doing okay on pasta. Although I did have the weirdest sauce. It was it was called Seagull RNG sauce. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure how they get away selling that.
I tried so hard.
I know you did. I know you did.
I went
couldn't let you
straight for
get
your
away with
stomach
it.
and everything. I should have talked about breadsticks and salad. I should have gone Olive Garden on you. But no, you brought it back. You animal.
Reeled it in.
Ugh. Curse you for being on topic.
So meanwhile, having Marin, aside from letting us advance the plot in a bit, also lets us get 3 missable photos. The one in the well you saw, which is also the reason why we didn't get that heart piece earlier. One down here by the beach, and then one last one, which is the reason why Terran gets chased by bees. So that's what the Sagaz is about to get. Pikapals on his way to go have start his own hot date. Well, let's see if he does any sort of memery before he talks to her on the beach. Now, fun fact here about this thing's going to happen on Sagaz' screen, though. Terran's going to walk in and basically put himself between the two of them because, you know, he's a responsible dad like that.
If you actually go, my daughter.
If you actually look at the photo at the in the camera booth, Marin and Link are both actually kind of giving him, like, looking at him out of the corner of their eye. It's actually kind of... I didn't notice it until recently, but they look pretty upset.
Oh, so Marin wanted this date to go well, too.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, wouldn't you?
I mean, she's a non-existent girl. I assume all dates in Link's head go well.
I mean, yeah. But anyways, it's coming up on time to say goodbye to Marin here, because we need her to wake up the walrus, which is not a euphemism, we swear. We literally have to wake up a walrus. It's how we get to the Dungeon 4 key. But rather than do it traditionally, because we don't do anything traditionally in this game, it's still faster to do the setup for a rooster skip from any percent. The difference being that since we actually have Marin, there is no soft lock potential. So we're just going to bomb trigger there, and voila.
Did you say rooster skip? Walrus skip.
Okay, you know what? There's so many skips, and there's so many animals, that the wires just kind of cross in my head sometimes.
It's okay, man. Just reel it back in.
You could also arguably call it rabbit skip, because that rabbit kind of disappears since Marin leaves the screen so quickly.
Then why not call it Marin skip? Oh wait, that's actually a thing later too.
Yeah, it is, much to my sadness.
Oh, she doesn't deserve to be saved off the mountain. She doesn't exist. Nobody exists.
Maybe I don't exist either. I'm just
Sweet, that means I'm doing
internet.
commentary alone. Good God. Oh God, I got stage right now. So anyways, we mentioned earlier that bomb triggers do magical things with item pickups. Turns out that picking up a piece of heart is a cutscene which you can trigger with the bomb trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And now we will go see if there is a text box in the desert.
First we have to intimidate an empty room.
There is no text box in the desert.
Yeah, we showed that room who's boss. Costs up a key. So intimidated by Link.
And now we can get out of this Art Deco nightmare and go to find another completely obvious neon lit bombable wall.
Did you just call it an Art Deco nightmare?
Yes.
That's not Art Deco!
Exactly, which is why it's a nightmare.
You can't see it, but I'm making the most disapproving dad face at my screen right now.
It's okay, I get that look enough from my dad as it is.
Man, we just got pretty real here for a moment.
Oh,
Speaking of it,
you chose this.
On the flip side of being real, let's talk about Link's Awakening.
Video games don't exist.
Well,
And neither does this owl.
It turns out this takes place on an island that doesn't exist in a world that doesn't exist, so...
Got him!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has run out. This game came out when I was a tiny child, and I'm, like, old by speedrunner standards, so...
This game has been out... The original version of this game has been out longer than I've been alive.
Oh my god. I bought this game before you were born.
Oh god, I'm young.
Meanwhile, we get to listen to one of the best songs in the game. I actually really like this song.
It's too bad we'll never hear it again.
Hmm?
It's too bad we'll never hear it again.
Oh no, we will, don't worry.
Not this version.
Not this version, no. The charming duet version. It also turns out we're not going to actually play it on the ocarina, because the only other time we need to play it, it's actually faster to bomb trigger it. So basically, I like to picture Link holding up a bomb, kind of just like chomping down on the fuse and blowing until music comes out.
Well, I mean, they have bomb flowers. I presume those are edible. Alright, we find that there is a second text box that doesn't exist in the desert. And now Sagaz is going to go make his way back up to the waterfall and mountains in order to open up D4.
Yep, and that's the reason right there we took that extra detour, because I just run over here and just like magic reveal, the happiest fish in the world. Look at this guy. He auditioned it to get this part, and it pays off here and now.
Mmm.
Man, I said fish, now I'm just imagining salmon. Mmm.
Salmon run?
I mean, they swim, they don't run, so... But...
No. What I've seen says otherwise. Seen dark things that you can possibly imagine.
But have you seen an elephant fly?
Yeah. I've watched Horton Hears a Who, come on.
Hang on a second. But anyways, it's time for one of the most important tricks of the run right here. Sagaz looks good, and he gets obstacle skip. It is one of those very particular tricks where getting it saves you, what, a quarter of a second, and failing it loses you, I think, 2 seconds?
Yes.
So it's extremely important to try it every single time, because if you don't, you'll be mocked mercilessly by the rest of us.
Oh, wait, now here we have an actual gatekeeping trick, because we keep on pushing this thing earlier and earlier. Sagaz is probably...
God,
he is going... Nope, wait, he's not. Oh my god.
He is. He does his other stuff first, then he saves and quits back to the door.
Okay, and then he probably drops down, yeah?
Yep.
Alright, so let's go kill a mouse.
No, we don't kill a mouse.
No, we kill a mouse. He's dead.
No, we don't kill him, though. It's just a workplace safety violation. He's just so impressed by the fact that Link can hold a sword between his glutes that, I mean, hey. He's just like, whoa, man, back off. I can't handle that glute. Oh, there he goes.
And the ladies who all screamed assassino were silenced as well. For he landed on top of them. Alright, now we have early rooster skip. God help me.
Well,
It's
no,
the first
that
one where
helps.
I've actually had to commentate an early rooster skip. So normally when we come here, we have hook shot and feather, and we use that to buffer, jump our way across. But Sagaz, being the hero that he is, figured out, wait a minute, I could just, clip into the wall, then use boots, and jump across.
Just like that.
Easiest trick in the world.
Oh my god. You can't believe he did it. What a madman.
Why is this becoming a mainstream thing?
Because it's the funniest thing about it is the fact that we all thought it saved a lot of time, and it doesn't, but it still saves a noticeable amount of time. It saves enough time, yeah. That you can do it consistently like Sagaz can, then there's no reason not to do it.
Don't forget, kids, it's cool to be mediocre like runners like me. And not do early rooster skip.
Or you can just be cool and punishing on yourself like me and try to learn it anyway.
Alternatively, you can go play Metroid Zero Mission, but that's a different story.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I played that game too, but...
Alright, so there Sagaz goes with the Jesus jump over to get to the worst rooms in this dungeon. So we have to hit these tiles in the order in which they're shining. The Helmosaurs make that really hard. And then those guys will normally split into two before dying, preventing you from, you know, killing them quickly. And for our troubles, we get the flippers.
We only get one, but Link is really good at swimming with a boot and a flipper.
And Sagaz going for the swag.
I mean, why not? Look at that!
Yeah.
Look at that! That's such a cool. Yeah, that's it's definitely more difficult than the classic strat. But the classic strat involves 2 extra menus, so well, 1 extra menu.
No, it's 2.
All right, now he's setting up to deal with anglerfish here.
He missed the sword.
No, he got it.
He didn't. He paused it beforehand. Okay.
And just like that, anglerfish is, I would debate, the easiest boss.
Yeah. Easy. Thanks, pal.
And conveniently enough, anglerfish is also the last time we're going to be needing to use bombs and bomb arrows before we get the arrow upgrade / refill, because arrow counts are going to be pretty low here right now.
Falling low on resources, man. Gotta go gathering on the island and conveniently run into a demon who curses us with more items.
I can't believe you have to carry all that junk around. He says something along those lines.
And now...
First, it's time to get another useful resource. It's time to get Mambo's Mambo. So everybody, sing along if you know the words. Chat, I don't see any singing.
Well, you have to remember, they're behind.
They had plenty of seconds. They had plenty of seconds. Hang on a second.
I mean, you didn't even say oh. See, there's one. I told you they'd catch up.
No, because, yeah, I had to...
There it is, see?
People I live with ignore closed doors, so that's why I had to cut away for a moment. So, I'm back.
You gotta be patient, Crunchy.
Patience is not one of my strong suits.
I could tell. I've seen your gameplay.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I mean Dark Souls.
That doesn't even make sense for that!
I mean, there are times, but anyways, we're getting away from ourselves. There, Pikapals gets his nice kill on anglerfish as we head back to go do another really just insane trick, which Sagaz figured out a way to make worse.
But first of all, it seems that Sagaz has made a friend. A ghosty friend.
Yeah, so we have to, after beating D4, we get haunted by this ghost, where we need to go around and show him various parts of the island. And then take him back to his grave. But while we have him here, we're just gonna do a couple of things, like, remember when I said we stuck bombs in walls? Yeah, we're gonna magically transform this portion of wall that we just detonated into a bra. That once again goes back into the wall and into our hands.
To answer a question asked in chat, early rooster skip actually does not, aside from the fact that you do rooster skip earlier, everything else stays the same. That's the only change is when you do it in the run. So aside from that, everything else you will see them do will be in the same order.
Alright, we're giving the Martha the Mermaid back her bra, and let's see how many concussions she has. Sagaz, what's... No. Not like this.
No. Oh gosh.
He warned us about the slideshow. But it's back, just in time for me to not count concussions. Thanks, pal.
Oh goodness, we're getting that power
He
point.
did it. He did it unbuffered. My God.
Uh-oh. You might not be able to boots out of that one. Okay, I think he might be able to boots out of that one. Okay,
he did
it.
Oh my. Ugh.
I was a little bit worried there. Because if you're not quite far enough that you can boots out of it, trying to charge will just make you bounce back into the water and waste time. So you can try to jump back and super jump back and forth to reset yourself, but it takes a little bit of doing. So when you get to that point, you'll all start getting a bit nervous. But Sagaz pulls it off.
Animal.
What a beast!
Speaking of animals, hey, look, we found our mouse photographer buddy's corpse. Just floating here in the water.
Seems pretty loud to me.
Yeah, he flowed down here from the waterfall.
Yeah, I mean the water broke his fall. He's fine.
Yeah, and now we have him hooked to the mouth. And now he's floating.
So dedicated to his craft that he manages to take this picture of the fisherman almost drowning.
Yes.
Alright, now it's time to take care of a little bit of a Southern Island cleanup here. We have to take the ghost back to his house to get him to shut up. At least a little bit. But while we're down there, there's also a couple seashells, the most powerful weapon in the game. And,
does he get that right now?
Hmm?
Does he get that right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
He has a magnifying lens, might as well.
Yeah.
It's the best time to get it.
And Martha not getting any concussions. Good job. She learned how to swim properly.
I mean, do you really get a concussion if you can just go through the water?
No, but I mean it's a concussion if you hit the rocks.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, Sagaz on his way now to get himself the boomerang, the most powerful weapon in the game. Which may sound like I'm being facetious, but no, I'm being dead serious. The boomerang is the most powerful weapon in the game. In this game, it doesn't just stun enemies. Oh, no, 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 no. It cuts through the very fabric of space and time to destroy enemies, crush hopes and dreams, and murder bosses in one hit, including the final boss. So, look forward to that one. Put a pin in that idea and look forward to it.
Question, can we actually hit Evil Eagle with a boomerang?
I don't see why not, but I don't...
Would it kill Evil Eagle in one hit?
I get the feeling it might not work on him, because otherwise we would probably do that.
Have we? Oh, okay, so I'm getting word from Say, our world record holder, saying no.
Okay.
That's disappointing. Kills bosses in one hit. Only usable on one boss.
It also explodes bushes, which I think is one of my favorite things about it.
It's a fire boomerang.
But we were talking about them earlier. It's time to say hello to Mad Batter again. This time they're going to be getting the arrow upgrade so they can refill their arrows. As you can see, Sagaz is down to just one, and Pikapals is going to be about the same. But we need many more. We're going to need a few more arrows before this run is over. And it's also going to be one of the only two times they'll actually use the ocarina, which is to teleport back to Mambo's pond in the middle of the island. Right there.
Huh. So for some reason, the sunfish owns property in the middle of the plains.
I mean, if you had a friggin' talking sunfish that would sing and dance and have its fishy friends sing and dance along, would you try to challenge it, or would you just kind of try to play it all off as a fever dream?
No, I'm questioning it. Why does the sunfish have a landlocked piece of water?
You know, summer home.
Landlocked.
Summer home.
So what you're telling me is that this summer dried up the path from his normal cave to his little pond.
Okay, look, guy. We have a fish that can sing, that can talk and sing. Are you trying to tell me that it couldn't possibly have some weird magical means of getting to its summer home?
It's too small anyways.
Why do you refuse to suspend disbelief in a game that's about a dream island?
Because I don't suspend disbelief in my dreams, and I won't do it here.
Gosh, do you dream about doing your taxes?
Oh, I dream about serial killers. Terrifying things, man. Anyways, we're going here into Dungeon 0.
Yep, the color dungeon, one of the other major things added in the DX version of Link's Awakening. There's not too much to say about the color dungeon. You don't get any fancy movement items like you would like a hookshot or a bracelet or a feather, but
we do get money.
You get money, yes. There's two important things you're going to get, and they're going to get in here. Money and one of the two colored tunics. But money, I think, is the cooler one, because the funny thing about this room that you see Sagaz about to go into is that this is it's either the only one or one of the very tiny number of rooms in the game whose status is stored in a system memory rather than on cartridge memory. So if you hard reset the console, that room refills. The rupees all come back. So when they save and quit in a moment here, you're going to see them hard reset to get the room to refill and get 300 rupees.
If you don't hard reset, though, it stays empty, even on other files that you make.
Yep, which I find actually really cool and kind of funny.
Interesting.
Yes. And now
so
this dungeon.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, after you.
Alright, well, this dungeon has two mini-bosses, and both of them are an absolute joke. This first one, you kind of do two jumps at it really quickly when you enter the room. You can just sprinkle it a few times with powder, and it dies. Just like that.
It's the only time we see Blob outside of Nightmare Fight. You don't even see him in the vanilla game.
Alright, just like that. You saw Sagaz do his hard reset. Gonna go back in there and get the rupees he needs to get the final Ocarina song. Well, Pikapals getting that photo, which is actually the reason why we do the whole ghost side quest. We would completely ignore the ghost, not for the fact that we need that one photo for 100%.
And Sagaz killing a stone Hinox.
Oh no, Pikapals! Accidentally getting knocked into the stairs by the bat and having to push the gravestone, wasting a bit of time. That bat is one of the trolliest bats in the entire game.
I will say, though, clean recovery. I like it.
Alright, now here's the bingo room I mentioned earlier. This, I think, might be the most obnoxious room in the entire game.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly who started doing it with Boomerang, but doing it with Boomerang is so much more controllable.
Yeah, absolutely. That still doesn't make it easy, though. You still had some trouble with getting multiple of those enemies on the same one, and sometimes knocking them at angles can be a bit rough, especially if you get them against the wall, so it still takes a little bit of doing. And uh-oh. Okay, for a moment there I thought he had hit one of the wrong ones, and I got really worried.
Alright. So now this is... What's the name of this guy? Color Blob? Buzz Blob? No, Buzz Blob is the thing.
Free boss.
Dead Boss.
Dead boss.
Free Fairy.
Alright, now it's time for the burning question. Which tunic is Sagaz going to get? Is he going to opt for the red tunic and get Piece of Power without the movement speed, or is he going to opt for the blue tunic and get Guardian Acorn?
100% red.
He goes for red.
There is no leeway with that man. He does not believe in the blue tunic.
All right, so say again, coming at us with the great truth facts that Vlack, the man, the legend, was the first to do bingo room with the boomerang, and that does not surprise me. Vlack is very, very good at coming with very fast strats in this game. And the funny thing about the tunic is Red Tunic was considered for the longest time to be unquestionably the fastest, but there's been a pretty hot, spicy debate in the community recently about whether or not the Red Tunic is truly the fastest tunic. Because even though you do more damage, and you pick things up faster, you also have extra invincibility frames on enemies and bosses, which makes some boss fights slower. It also forces you to play a lot safer since you don't get damage reduction in some dicey parts like the Armos maze. So
I will also say for the future, Sagaz, when you're watching this, we are talking about them being closer in time, not the fact that blue is faster than red. There, I covered our base. We're good.
I mean, I was just going to say that it usually comes down to runner preference, but okay, that works too. Like, the difference between them is actually relatively small, so it really comes down to whichever you prefer using when you run the game, which is why you'll see some folks opt for blue, some folks opt for red, but there's really... you can get a top-tier time with either.
The only tunic that you can't get a good time with is green.
Well, then you can't get a time at all.
Exactly. And now we have the worst seizure song in the game. Once again, seizure warning, potentially.
I'm sorry, I believe you were talking about best song, in fact, the Koholint National Anthem. All rise, please, for the national anthem. Pikapals opting for sword strats in the bingo room. Getting it, but it looks like he had a little bit of a struggle with a couple of them.
It happens. And now that that travesty is over...
I feel full of soul right now.
Man, that isn't even soul. What do you know about soul, frog? You probably never seen a saxophone in your life. So what are we doing now, actually? We're going up to D5, going to D8? What are we doing? No, we're gonna go to the moat and get a heart piece. Another completely obvious neon lit heart piece. Oh dear. I think my insults to Frog Song killed Crunchy.
No. I'm just checking something real quick. Don't worry. This heart piece though is one of the biggest mean tricks that the developers pulled, because there's no dialogue anywhere in the game that suggests it's there. There's no visual indicators, nothing that would point you to this heart piece being here, and it's not even that easy to get over here. The route that you saw Sagaz just take is the only way to get to it. So unless you just really have nothing better to do than swim around, you have no reason to go down there, yet there's a heart piece there. Planning my revenge? Spirits, why would you suggest that? I have no idea why would you even suggest that.
Why would you imply that any revenge against me would be fruitful?
I mean...
Man, I already handicapped myself. Anyways, in Sagaz's screen, we see a photo that we can only get after we get the magnifying lens. That fishman doesn't appear until afterwards.
Yeah, magnifying lens, there's pretty much 3 major things that it lets you do. One of them is get the boomerang, one of them is get that photo, and one of them is read the book in the library to get the path through the egg. But we're not going to do that one, actually, but we'll come back to that one later. There's actually a really fun reason we don't.
Oh, yes. So Sagaz is over here running his way through Armos Maze, worst section of the game, overworld. Because normally in any percent no Scoob we have Bow Wow. Here. You animal, I knew you were doing this. I'll take the high road and I won't change it back. This time, Gadget, this time.
I'm feeling really great today. How are you doing?
I'm feeling full, Crunchy. I have a nice bunch of food next to me.
I'm feeling full of soul, doubly full of soul, in fact.
Animal. Absolute animal. Alright, so while we were over here experiencing existential dread, Sagaz killed Armos Knight.
You knew this job was dangerous when you took it. You're the one who asked me to commentate.
Why did I choose you of all people? I could have asked Alpha. I'm joking, man, I'm joking. We have fun here.
Yeah, but something else. So Sagaz didn't just get the D6 key there, he also got the final seashell. So after D6, since we actually also happen to be conveniently right next to... Oh, actually, it didn't occur to me. Using the boomerang to blow up those bushes faster. That's pretty good. I'll have to remember that one.
Yeah, I started doing that too.
That's one of the things I love about these races, that everyone does things slightly differently. So sometimes we'll be watching like, hey, that's similar to what I do, but a little bit faster. I'm going to lift that.
Yeah. In case you're low on hearts, the Armos covering up the stairs there also takes 2 hits to kill.
Yeah,
that's boring. Very nice.
Or you can also use an arrow on it if you want.
Ah, that's wasteful. That's a menu.
It's true.
Alright, so here we have D6. Lovely dungeon. We're not going to go through most of it.
And also, probably my favorite dungeon music. It's a little bit mellow, but I like it. And a lot of fun movement and tricks in here, too.
Call it pensive, maybe.
Well, I think it's designed to be mellow, because this is also around the point in the game where you're supposed to learn that the island is actually not real.
Nobody is real. The windfish is merely a dreamer. And by saving everybody, the island is doomed.
Yeah, this is also around the spot where the bosses start calling you out on that. Like, hey, what are you doing, man? We're just over here, trying to have a good time, and we're feeling so attacked right now.
Well, we are attacking them.
Yeah, we are.
So you mean the nightmares are telling the truth the entire time?
Yeah, it's true.
Are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies? We have skulls on our hats.
Funny, I popped into Sagaz' stream earlier and I made a bunch of airplane references.
Excellent.
It's the only way to do it.
Alright, we're about to see some cool super jumps here now. We don't think we've forgotten about those. Ooh, look at him go. He's gonna hop up there and go straight to where the nightmare key is, which, conveniently enough, is also the only treasure chest in the entire game you have to throw something at to open.
Not the only object, though. We have doors that only open when you throw pots at them.
Yes, indeed, although we only actually see one in this run. There is actually a second one in this dungeon, but we won't see it.
Really? Oh, right, the one up on the left side.
Yeah, the one in case you need to get a backup seashell. Thankfully, like we said before, there are 26 seashells, so in the off chance the runner misses a shell, which has been known to happen, there are thankfully a couple of convenient backups along the way. One of them is here in Dungeon 6.
Alright, now to everybody's favorite part of the game, horse heads!
The skill heads! Let's see if Sagaz has been practicing.
No.
Uh-oh.
So these horse heads have 50% chance of landing heads up. You need both of them heads up, giving you essentially a 25% chance to get them both heads up.
And that was...
It's anything but 50% chance.
Yeah, it isn't. And now entering one of my favorite kind of puzzle rooms, the kind where you just don't do anything and it solves itself, just like that.
Or the one where you fall in the center and go back to the start of the dungeon, ruining a perfectly good run.
Why would you do that?
Accident.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So remember that one empty desert room where we got the Dungeon 4 key? Well, it turns out it has something in common with this room, which is the game's bad habit of having hitboxes appear before enemies appear. So we actually just did 3 bomb hits on Facade here, who takes 5 bomb hits to kill. If you did this normally, you'd actually have to deal with all these tiles and pots, and then pits appearing in the floor, but instead, we just kill him when he's not even done with his first section of nonsense there, turning him into one of the easiest bosses in the run.
However, if you're casual and you run out of bombs here, you just have to save and quit to get out. Awful.
Yeah. You know, Pikapals looked like he had a little bit of trouble there jumping across the Zorlax pit, but I think he made it across second try there. About to enter D6 as Sagaz is leaving. So it may seem like Sagaz has a healthy lead, and he does. But that said, actually, wait, no, it's actually even bigger than it looks because he already did Rooster Skip. I just had a brain fart and forgot about that. Oh lord.
You have to remember, Sagaz is the second best runner in this game.
Yeah, no. He absolutely is. He is. there are a few who can challenge his might, but that does not mean that the highest seed is always going to win. Goodness knows we have seen some upsets in this tournament.
Who knows? He might get cursed.
And here we go, about to get the level 2 sword, which has one of my favorite animations. Master Sword ain't got nothing, because you know what this sword does? This sword leaves you thunderstruck!
I was gonna try to set you up for it, but I didn't know how, so I just figured I'd let you have the lead.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Think we could petition AC/DC to get the rights for that for like 5 seconds?
I'm pretty sure that we did a bad enough job that no freaking whatchamacallit.
Right. It's a cover, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That's covered, but that's probably protected by fair use. Although I'm pretty sure there was nothing fair about that rendition we did.
Well, we are not AC/DC. We cannot do them justice.
Certainly not. I'm not from Australia. But speaking of fairness, we're about to do something very unfair here and completely ignore the mini-boss in this dungeon, which is the big gimmick in Dungeon 5, which is Master Stalfos, who has no friends and is really bad at making them, has taken the hookshot and wants you to fight him in 4 specific rooms. You say beans to that, because it turns out this room right next to where Sagaz is the room where you fight him the 4th time. And if you pull a key from this room over into the other room and pick it up the same frame you cross over, the game just reskins it as the hookshot, and... oh, didn't quite get it. The downside is, because of subpixels, there's a 50-50 chance it won't work. But as long as he doesn't pick up the key by accident, he can keep trying it. So we're going to see him keep trying until he gets it.
Point of order, if I may?
Go for it.
Master Stalfos is not the mini-boss at D5, that's Gomez. He's just a pleb.
Okay, I will not disagree with you on that. Master Stalfos is absolutely a pleb. Wait, Pikapals? Pikapals getting first try.
Check that cartridge.
And meanwhile, Sagaz getting, looked like second try early hookshot, so he is...
It was second try.
Yes, so he is on his way already, but he does have to face off against Master Stalfos once. And a fun side effect of having level 2 sword is that sword beams actually do damage to him when he's on the ground like that. Normally you have to do it with bombs, but sword beams are faster.
Because magic.
Like fast. Yes, because magic. Alright, Pikapals, meanwhile, giving Facade the what for, putting bombs in his nostrils. How mean-spirited.
Do they even have nostrils?
Well, if he did, you wouldn't be able to see them because there's bombs in them.
That's an inherent design flaw. How does he breathe?
I mean, those holes that he opens in the ground, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Meanwhile, Sagaz over there getting his big key. Now he's going to be heading over to the boss. No need to grab that chest, because he already has his Rocksong Soul.
Mm-hmm. That chest near the entrance of D5 actually has 200 rupees in it, and that used to be the chest that we all grabbed to get 300 rupees before, but it turns out that the hard resetting in color dungeons is a little bit faster, so that's just what we do now. Speaking of faster, Dungeon 5 is generally one of the longest, if not the longest dungeon, especially in categories like any percent, so early hookshot turning it into an absolute short joke of a dungeon in this category is so satisfying.
I was about to ask something stupid and say, why don't we do early hookshot in any percent, but then I remembered we don't get the boomerang.
That's right. But speaking of things that are no joke, this is Wall Snake. And unfortunately, even with Red Tunic and level 2 sword, Wall Snake goes by number of hits, not by damage, so it doesn't matter what sword you have or what tunic you have, it takes 8 hits to kill him. So they're going to hope, and with the Red Tunic it's harder, because you have longer invincibility frames, so you see Sagaz very carefully timing his shots. It looks like he only got 3 hits, though.
It was 4.
Okay, so he has 1 more. Hopefully he doesn't get any fake snakes. Fake snakes will ruin his day.
Oh, wow, what?
Oh, no. So he actually only got 2 hits that first phase, that first one.
That was weird. I could have sworn I counted 4.
I guess not. It takes 8 hits, though, and it took him 3 cycles, which is usually what you'll see with Red Sword, unless someone's timing is absolutely spot on.
Wow, Say being cocky over there in chat.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Them some shots fired, brother. What you doing?
Oh my goodness. Ooh.
Okay, so Spirits are pointing something out. Fake hits are a thing on Wall Snake. So we did count the right number of hits, but they weren't counted.
Okay. Because I'm going to be honest, mathematics is not my strong suit, that's why I'm an engineer. It lets us have tolerances, as we call them, which is basically a fancy way of saying close enough.
You hold on a second. You use math and engineering.
Yeah, but we also use tolerances.
You still have to be close enough.
Like I said, close enough.
So it's your guys' fault why you can't build the building properly. I see what it's done.
Quite the contrary. The building wouldn't get built if not for us.
You know who has to draw those floor plans? Me.
Well, you know how to make sure that your floor plans are actually structurally sound?
Us. Otherwise you couldn't build them.
We have to fact check everything. Actually, I'm not that kind of engineer, so I'm a little bit spitballing here. I'm not a structural engineer or a civil engineer, so there we go.
Wolf was pointing out something very important. Engineering tolerances are only like 1/1000th of an inch. So you still have to do math.
Well, I didn't say there was no math involved. This said close enough. And Wolf also pointed out depends on the parts, at least for a lot of parts, so...
I'm not gonna let you get away with this.
Too late, I already did.
Again. You bamboozler. Pikapals having some trouble with this early hook shot here. It's not going too kindly.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, because this trick literally is a 50-50 chance. You can get the setup perfect, and this will take like 6 or 8 tries to get it.
Oh, it's a tricky run killer.
Yeah.
Same way how a rooster skip was back in the day.
Yeah, and this is even with a really good visual cue for it. I mean, you can get the consistent setup every time. He's got the pixel again there, I can see it. And there we go, he finally gets it.
As soon as we give him the words, he has the ability to do it. We are commentators' blessings.
That's right.
No, did he forget the key?
He didn't get the key. Oh no, Pikapals! You forgot the key!
Go save and quit, buddy! Go back!
Oh no. Okay, okay.
Oh, thank God he remembered.
Okay.
He's listening.
I was also a little bit confused. Normally you save and quit there, but he was like, wait a second, what's he doing? He must have fallen into no scoob by accident.
You have the hook shot now. Why would you fall into no scoob?
You know, muscle memory. It happens.
There's a little too short. We'll never use that.
Getting one of the most worthless things. Did you just call it the level 2 sword?
Oh, it said shield.
That's not what I heard.
I'm not sure here.
Oh, unfortunately, pulling a trick that I've fallen victim to a few times, which is accidentally leaving the room before the bomb goes off, because you need to have those blocks be raised. Now it's time for Dungeon 7, or basically bomb triggers the dungeon. Because the whole thing with carrying around that giant metal ball and stuff, yeah, it turns out that bombs are also around like the metal ball, and they're even more effective at destroying pillars, so there you go.
Demolitions.
Yep.
Oh, that's smooth. Node's trick coming in hot.
Oh man, that was so clean. My Dungeon 7 is no match. That was so good. Just like that, you turned this 4-story tower into a 3-story tower, and I'm sure Evil Eagle is very happy about that.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure that demolition was up to code.
Oh, it's down to code now.
Hey.
Hey. I'm so alone.
Alright,
so anyways, it's time for Goomba Surf, because I'm fairly certain Saga's going for the spiciest strats. And let's see if the Goomba will go to the right. Goomba, what are you doing? Just standing there.
Just stand still. So, this trick is completely dependent on RNG, and I personally absolutely hate it. I will stomp on all 3 Goombas and then go to do the way to get up there. The better, safer strat.
I'm just gonna kill them all. This is personal now.
It's always been personal.
The fun thing about Evil Eagle, though, you use bombs and no scoob, but it turns out that in 100%, we can actually do this trick here with the hook shot, where you're gonna see them hook shot off the bottom of the screen, and you hear the Evil Eagle getting hit because wraparound hitboxes. But this only works if you save and quit once. Otherwise, this trick would not be working. The hookshot would actually hit the bottom of the screen and not wrap around. We're not sure why, but that does mean that we can do this fast strat only in this category. Or at least only in categories that allow saving and quitting.
Now, what if you die in a any percent no scoob run? Will that make it work?
Doesn't do it.
Damn.
Gotta be a save and quit. I don't get it either.
Oh, look, they're both getting their instruments at the same time. Dungeon apart, though, but still. They're together in spirit.
Pikapal's getting that wind marimba. This is the game that actually taught me what a marimba was. I didn't know that it was even an instrument before this game.
Yeah. It's a good instrument, too. Nice sounding.
Yeah, it is. I like it a lot. But on that, Pikapal's on his way to D7 now, but Pikapals still has to do Rooster Skip, so we're going to see Rooster Skip Classic from him here. Meanwhile, Sagaz on his way to Break My Heart and Skip Marin.
Break your heart or break Link's heart?
Why not both?
Oh my god, I'm commentating with the hero of time.
This is not the hero of time, Link.
This is only a tribute.
That wasn't what I was going for, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Joke diverted. It's fine. It's
Take
fine. Alright, so anyways, Pikapal's about to do his second obstacle skip. But first, time for a little bit of bomb trigger to get another heart like we saw Sagaz do while he's dodging his cabbages over there.
And now we're gonna go see the Mad Batter for the third time.
Yeah.
Go down here, get our powder upgrade. Throwing down a little bit of salt beforehand.
Salt the earth. Oh, I don't know if Pikapals is high enough. Oh, he gets it. I was a little bit worried there.
Fine. Champion, he knows what he's doing. Look at the man, a professional.
Alright, but now I'm just going curious to see how he handles Rooster Skip, because I'm not sure if he does buffered or unbuffered.
I'm going to go for late buffers.
Alright, yeah, that's usually a safe guess. Meanwhile, Sagaz, we also see him. He's doing doing flame skip here. Because even though we have level 2
Said bye-bye final.
Oh gosh, Pikapal's taking a tumble. That's one of the worst things about Rooster Skip, being that if you take a fall, you have to go all the way back around. It takes 30 to 40 seconds, depending on how good your movement is.
Sorry for interrupting. I'll complete the train of thought. Because even though we have level 2 shield, we don't actually need it, and we could just clip into the wall and use the boots to run past the flames. And we do a bomb trigger to wake up Turtle Rock, and then completely skip his fight, and just walk right through him and in.
Yeah. Alright, Pikapal's not quite getting as far left as he wants, so he's going to have to do a left hook shot here instead of the generally more often seen down hook shot, but he gets it. Second try, very clean.
Alright, here we go. Book shot jump. Time for it. Let's do it. Yeah. He gets it first try. Nice.
Yeah, it's basically combining a hook shot shenanigans with a flock clip right there.
He's denied access.
Oh my goodness, bamboo sounds .wave right there. It's Blano! And Blano's gone.
Blano Bino? No. That doesn't work.
Blano... I got nothing.
Nah, Blano's incapable of being humorous for us, and he must die for his sins.
He's incapable of having a trick to skip him that doesn't involve going out of bounds, which is also punishable by death, apparently. And now we're about to do a little bit of fun here with more
super swimming.
Jesus jumping and super swimming. Yay!
Because we're swimming on lava, because lava is water, but only in certain circumstances.
Link really likes his hot tubs really hot, alright?
Oh, do you think he's gonna get a point of courage up or something? Guts?
I don't know. But that is definitely the final heart piece. As you can see now, it just has one heart container from the boss of D8 to go. And he'll be on his way.
To the
First, it's Q-Ball, the boss from D4 that we didn't see.
And he's dead. Goodbye, Oddball.
Yeah. At this point in the game, bosses just kind of go down real quick. But now it's time to clean up for Sagaz to clean up his act. Good thing there's a Roomba here. This room is kind of cool just because there's multiple different ways of solving it. And so you actually will see a lot of different runners have different strategies, both for when they jump and how they drive the Roomba around. Alright, Pikapals is bomb triggering those pillars down. As you can see, he's opting to use the pits here, whereas Sagaz did it on the screen transition. Both viable. really just comes down to comfort.
Should also point out he's mashing them bomb triggers.
Oh yeah. And you have to mash fast, because since you're not using pause buffers for him, if you're mashing but not mashing fast enough, you can literally drop every bomb you have into those pits and not trigger anything, and that's awful. Feels real bad. Alright, meanwhile, Sagaz is taking on Hothead, and is he... I think he was trying to buffer the hit, what?
I think he was trying to do the disclude thing. Did Sagaz try to meme?
I mean, he might have. Unfortunately, he also meant he took a 2-cycle there. But that's... Hothead's just kind of a weird, annoying boss, and it looks like we're unvalidated. We have ourselves a Wang, boys.
Put it away, man. Get a room. My god, this is supposed to be a PG stream.
Okay, you take that drum and you... Yeah, somewhere else. We don't want to look at that.
Alright, so Say is saying he was trying to tech skip, apparently?
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Oh, man, Pikapal's getting the perfect Goomba RNG.
Had it, but let it go.
Not quite setting up the naked super jump here. Actually, I don't think he's setting up for a naked one, which is dangerous. The reason why you generally have to do a naked super jump here is because you use the sword to
No, he naked
off.
super jumped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think he did it high enough because it looks like he might be
No,
stuck.
he's fine.
Okay. Unsticks himself.
Everything is fine.
Yeah. Now, Goomba Surf actually has a couple of things that can go wrong. You have to execute it just right, otherwise you might get stuck, or you might kill the Goomba. It's actually, that's one of the reasons why I actually really do prefer the P-Hat jump.
Alright, last time we have to hear... No, second to last time we have to hear the Owl's shenanigans.
Well, unless you stick around after the final boss. But anyways, it's time for Link to show us why he is the best Bomb Karina player in all of Hyrule.
Bomb flute.
Look at him play that bomb.
I don't know, fuses were so basey.
He's got a good timbre. You know, Pikapal's getting his own synthesizer right there. I just really enjoy that song, so I was just listening and enjoying it.
What I want to know is, why isn't there a guitar?
Because this is... Because they're going for more orchestral. The guitar of Evening Calm, yes! Oh my god! Oh god, I would love that.
We the police now, guys.
Oh god. Now I feel like I need to write a parody of a police song about Link's Awakening.
Don't.
So, Challenger said no.
Oh,
anyways,
God.
we don't go to the book in the library because it turns out there's a default path that only gets replaced if you read the book. So we don't read the book at all. We just know what the path is, and it saves us time, and we like saving time. Sagaz is setting up here for Blob Quick Kill. I don't think he got it though. Looks like he didn't.
Suspense.
Another one of those annoying tricks that even if you set it up correctly, there's always a 50% chance it'll go wrong. You just gotta hope for the best.
However, he did damage it, because even if you fail the quick kill, you still deal one of the hits to it.
Yeah. And now here comes the big question mark. This is Aghanim. You might remember him from Link to the Past. Unfortunately, unlike Link to the Past, there is no hard cap on the number of blue balls he can give you. So after these first 2 free hits, you need to hit him 2 more times, but you can just get infinite blue balls in theory. We've seen, what, 11 in this tournament so far? And with a record of 17, it can go pretty darn high.
Yeah, I think he's going to get really good RNG here, and I know exactly what I said and why I said it. Oh, man.
And he does get good RNG. He gets 0 blue balls. That's really good. Now setting up for the quick kill. This one, this quick kill is another one of the ones that changes if you have the red tunic. The timing on the attacks is very different compared to blue tunic.
Is it red tunic or level 2 sword?
It's the tunic. It's the invincibility frames.
I see.
Oh, he's setting up for Death'll quit for Death'll skip. So what he's trying to do here is if he plays the ocarina on a certain frame, that bat will not disappear. And he gets it. The bat up top of the screen, you can see it. So now, when Death'll appears, that bat dies, and the game thinks Death'll has died. So even though Death'll's right there, it's already triggering the end-of-game cutscene. And he's just like that... I'm sorry?
Sagaz clear. Well, he's also missing an arm, I was going to say.
Yeah. But just like that, Sagaz is finished as our winner today with an official SRL time of 1:19:39. Congratulations.
35 seconds off his PB. What an animal.
Most definitely. That was spectacularly done. Give me one moment here.
I can switch it over if you need to.
Do you think Sagaz will want to come in and say a few words? Let's check it out.
Maybe.
Meanwhile... Oh! Alright, someone beat me to it. I was about to change the audio, but it looks like we're now on Pikapals audio.
Well, I told you I could do it.
There you
Hello.
go. Hello.
So before you say that was a bad run, you actually did pretty good.
That's okay, run. Oh, by the way, sub 117, some of best hype.
Yeah.
Wow!
You gotta call a line somewhere, man. At some point, it's gonna get unhealthy to continue.
Yeah. That's yeah. That was my goal when I entered the race. I wanted to do sub 190, and I did it. So I'm happy.
Well, yeah, did good, man. You done very good.
Yeah, you did excellently.
Anything you think you could do better aside from getting bodied by that fire in the underground Dungeon 8?
I got second try a hook shot, but it was pretty slow second try. My G2 was bad for me. I miss the don't go skip once in a very good D3. It was goal pace.
What can you do though? It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Heck, just in case.
That's all, I guess.
There he is. He has everything. He's cleared.
Yeah. No, but to give everyone out there an idea of how spectacular that run was, this is the first sub 120 of the tournament, and Sagaz's time would actually put him at third place on the leaderboard with that run. That's how strong his time was.
Yeah. So it was good, but I did quite a lot of runs, and all of my runs was 119.
You can say you're consistent at least.
Wow. Yeah, that's consistent now. That's good. And I got good RNG on rupees. I didn't expect that when I.
Yeah, you were actually behind in rupees up until you made it to lawn mowing, and then suddenly you just dropped everything for you.
Yeah, that quick spin when I sold that rupees, I was like, no way. It never happened to me. And it happened, so yeah, very good. I guess Pikapals is on PB pace.
Probably, I think.
Oh, nice. Well, let me check. Pikapals' PB is...
Like a 129, but I don't think he's submitted a run race.
No, he has a 129.51, but that's an older one from about a month ago.
I'm pulling up his stream now to see what his is.
Oh no, he's
127.15.
Oh
is
wow.
his PB.
Yes, he's definitely improved.
I will say though, he's also got the Sea of Gold, but
nice.
His early hook shot really put him behind.
I'm glad I success early rooster skip. It was a good one. Not a bad one.
Now here he goes, getting his instrument, and he's going to go off to the egg, and I should probably minimize his stream, otherwise I'm going to start commentating on his current run rather than the restream.
I have no idea what you just said.
I was watching his stream, and I was about to start commentating off of his stream instead of the restream.
But Pikapals has gotten his final instrument, and he is on his way to the egg as well. Now let's see how he can do, how his luck goes, because Sagaz got didn't get the blob quick kill, but he got 0 blue balls, and he got Death'll skip. So that's gonna be a tough nightmare fight to beat.
Yeah.
Wonder if anybody in the tournament has it in them.
I
mean, right now you're the one.
There is a bamboo that did it. GT did it with the unbuffer one. That was awesome.
Yeah, Death'll Skip is definitely on my short list of tricks that I need to learn still.
Well, I'm looking for it.
Oh, see, you have a little bit of trouble setting up the bomb trigger here. Should be good now. We just... There we go.
Alright, so this makes you what? 4-0, Sagaz?
For what?
No,
record.
you're on 2-1. Yeah?
Okay, 2-1.
Oh yeah, 2-1. Yeah. I lost my.
You lost to Node.
Second match. Yes, to Node.
Right.
But actually, I'm happy. That's the time that I wanted to do.
Alright.
That's okay. I'm a little bit ill too, so that's why I'm not talking at all.
That's fine, man.
I'm sorry here. I hope you feel better.
So this match will put Pikapals down to the bracket of... Not bracket, the set of 1 and 2 losses. We're going to put him in the same area as P-Dog. And the outcome of Wolfos versus... Who's Wolfos facing? Wolfos and Dragon. So he'll have some fun runs coming up soon.
Well, this would put him down to what, 1 and 2, you said?
Yeah.
Hey, I might face off against him then.
Or, alternatively, we could have Crunchy versus Spicefather.
Oh! Pikapals, unfortunately, mashing bombs probably was worth not getting the dialogue skip, so we get 10 seconds of dialogue, but more importantly, we get the cool nightmare music.
Oh yeah, Sagaz. Question from Node. Who do you want to face next round?
Olos, of course.
Oh, Olos, okay.
Team France. Tearing each other apart.
Oh, trying to mash the powder to be able to do more hits before the blob disappears, but...
Just like that.
Alright, there we go.
Yeah, CC is saying that will be awesome. That's why I said Olos.
I mean, what are your guys' times comparatively? 120 and 119. There's just under a minute separating the two of you. That'd be ferocious.
Yeah, but actually, Olos will not grind the category, but he can do a 119 for sure.
Oh, Pikapals getting a blue ball right there. Two of them.
Node saying Sabalos is free. Well, we're waiting for your run to cut like 40 seconds then, Node.
Alright, there we go. Let's see if we can pull off that quick kill on Moldorm here. Looks good. No problem.
Yeah, I got the money. When Aghanim didn't move, you have just to move 1 pixel left or right to have a yellow ball instead of blue ball.
Really?
Yeah, if you got a blue ball and Aghanim is in the same place, you just move 1 pixel.
I'd heard about that before. Actually, last year, back I think when it was first being talked about, Bamboo Shadow actually was telling me about that and showing it off. And
he made a video of it, and that's a good video actually if you wanna see how Aghanim walk.
Yeah, I didn't actually know he'd made a video. I actually should go watch it because his explanation was really good, and I would like to see it again. It looks like Pikapals finishing off Death'll the good old-fashioned way with a boomerang to the eyeball.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he got pretty bad RNG on last pick.
It was a pretty long wait for the eye, but he finishes just under 129 on his timer. I guess like what, 129.01 on SRL?
It looks like